fans again, calling them toxic as if her fans, because KTV is a Caitlin Clark fan. She's my favorite basketball player to watch, male or female. Point blank, period. Now she's calling us toxic for saying the obvious about the sabotage that was going on in this league and how this woman has been targeted since before she even stepped foot in it, all while Stephanie White wants to ignore the facts of what the other players in this league have done, from disrespecting fans, starting fake racial investigation.
The WNBA just hit a storm, and at the center of it all is Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White. During a recent podcast, she openly called fans toxic. Yes, she actually said it, seemingly directed at the fans of Caitlin Clark, the league's breakout superstar. For months, Clark's meteoric rise had transformed not just her team, but the entire league. Ratings soared, ticket sales skyrocketed, and social media buzz exploded. Fans were showing up in record numbers, cheering for every play, creating the energy that's now fueling the league's boom. And yet, White decided to publicly label those very supporters as a problem. What makes this moment so shocking is not just the words themselves, but the context behind them. White's statement didn't come out of nowhere. This was the culmination of months of dismissive behavior, a calculated, deliberate remark aimed at undermining the people who had invested their time, money, and passion into the WNBA. The reaction was immediate and fierce. Social media ignited with outrage. Fans flooded platforms with questions, comments, and sheer disbelief. How could a coach disrespect the very community that keeps her league alive? The messages asked. This isn't a slip of the tongue. This isn't a casual misstatement. This is a direct, undeniable affront to the people who built the hype around Caitlin Clark, and by extension, the league itself. And while White publicly targeted fans, she conveniently ignored a trail of controversies involving players disrespecting those same fans, engaging in fake racial investigations, and creating a culture of selective accountability. Today, we're going to break down the full story. We're going to reveal the moments White ignored, the players who contributed to fan frustration, and the larger, systemic issues in the WNBA. You'll see exactly why fans are calling for her removal, and why this isn't just a personal feud. It's a turning point for the league itself. So buckle up, because the truth behind this controversy is far bigger than a single comment, and the ripple effects are shaking the entire world of professional women's basketball. Stephanie White's remarks didn't come out of nowhere. They are part of a pattern, a steady undercurrent of dismissiveness and selective criticism that has been building for months. Long before the infamous podcast, insiders observed a clear tendency in White to downplay Caitlin Clark's impact. Despite Clark's undeniable influence, raising the Fever's profile, boosting attendance, and driving viewership numbers across the league, White consistently emphasized other players, particularly Kelsey Mitchell, as her main priority. This narrative clashed violently with reality. Clark wasn't just a key player. She was the engine behind the teams and the league's sudden surge in popularity. Observers close to the situation quietly confirmed what many fans already suspected. White's acknowledgement of Clark's role was never genuine. It was reluctant, defensive, a thin attempt at damage control. This wasn't recognition, it was concession. And that simmering tension, left unchecked for months, only intensified the eventual blow-up. When White called fans toxic, it wasn't an isolated comment. It was the spark that ignited a long smoldering fire, revealing how far out of touch she had become with the very people supporting her team and the league at large. The controversy isn't limited to mere words. It's tied to tangible actions, or in some cases, inactions. Fans noticed a disturbing trend. Player misconduct, public disrespect, and orchestrated controversies were rarely addressed by White. Instead, the criticism was reserved exclusively for the supporters, the passionate, vocal fans who cheered Clark and elevated the league's profile. Social media erupted because people recognized a glaring double standard. This section of the story is crucial. Understanding the underlying pattern helps explain why fans reacted with such intensity. White's attack on the audience wasn't just wrong, It revealed an attitude that risks alienating the very foundation of the league's newfound success. The WNBA's boom isn't built on organizational maneuvering or coaching decisions alone. It's built on fan energy, engagement, and investment. By targeting the audience instead of addressing deeper systemic issues, White exposed both her personal bias and a dangerous disconnect that could cost the league dearly if ignored. Once White's comments went public, social media erupted. Fans, particularly Clark supporters, were quick to dissect her words and place them in context. What immediately stood out was the glaring hypocrisy. White condemned the audience for toxicity while ignoring repeated instances of actual misconduct by players. Rakuna Williams of the Las Vegas Aces openly declared, "We don't want you," directed at Clark's fans, an unmistakable act of hostility. Ryan Howard publicly disrespected Asia Wilson supporters, criticizing fans simply for cheering at a home game. These were not isolated incidents. They were highly visible, public acts that contributed far more to the league's tension than anything fans did. Yet White's statements conveniently overlooked these realities. Her definition of toxicity appeared selective, almost strategic, framing vocal, passionate fans as the problem while dismissing or minimizing players' blatant disrespect. Black fans of Caitlin Clark, in particular, faced targeted, offensive attacks from certain members of the WNBA community, even being labeled with demeaning racial slurs. White's failure to address this deeply troubling dynamic only fueled anger and frustration. Beyond individual acts, systemic issues within the league were ignored. The Indiana Fever, operating under White's leadership, were accused of hiding Clark's injuries to maximize ticket sales and viewership. Fans watched in frustration as conflicting injury reports emerged, creating a sense of manipulation and mistrust. These organizational missteps, combined with the selective criticism of supporters, painted a picture of profound negligence and mismanagement. The crux of the outrage lies in the disconnect. Clark's unprecedented influence drove the WNBA's boom, enabling higher salaries and increased visibility for all players. By attacking the fans who made that success possible, White inadvertently highlighted her own lack of awareness and accountability. Social media became a battleground, fans demanding fairness, transparency, and recognition for the very contributions White's comments sought to erase. The WNBA's explosive growth, largely fueled by Clark and her supporters, was suddenly threatened by the very leadership meant to guide it. Caitlin Clark's arrival did more than electrify the court. It transformed the entire WNBA's financial landscape. Ticket sales skyrocketed, merchandise flew off the shelves, and viewership numbers reached unprecedented heights. The league's sudden boom, a direct result of her magnetic appeal, translated into tangible benefits for players. Higher salaries, improved collective bargaining terms, and elevated exposure for the sport. Yet, amid this meteoric rise, Stephanie White chose to publicly criticize the very fans responsible for this growth, casting them as toxic, while ignoring the systemic issues quietly undermining the league. The Indiana Fever, under White's watch, became a prime example of organizational negligence. Fans were consistently fed conflicting information about Clark's injuries, creating confusion and frustration. Game day reports claimed she was game-time decisions or day-to-day, yet insiders revealed she was often pushed to play through pain purely to capitalize on ticket revenue. This strategy may have driven short-term profit, but it fostered long-term mistrust among the most dedicated supporters. Fans who invested time, energy, and money to support the team were instead treated as collateral damage in a business-first approach. Furthermore, the controversy highlights a disturbing double standard across the league. Players who openly disrespected audiences, initiated public disputes, or engaged in divisive actions escaped White's scrutiny, yet the passionate fan base, particularly Clark supporters, bore the brunt of blame. This selective criticism not only angered fans, but also exposed a deeper disconnect between leadership and the realities driving the league's unprecedented growth. Financially, the stakes could not be higher. The new collective bargaining agreement, enabling dramatically increased salaries, hinged almost entirely on the engagement Clark generated. Without her draw, these gains would have been significantly smaller, if not impossible. By alienating the fans responsible for this leverage, White risked destabilizing the very foundation of the WNBA's current prosperity. This misstep illuminated a larger truth. Leadership cannot thrive by dismissing the contributions of those who sustain the league. Ignoring or attacking the fans who created the WNBA's boom is not just a public relations disaster. It's a financial miscalculation with potentially lasting consequences. Once Stephanie White's remarks labeling fans as toxic hit the public sphere, the backlash was immediate and explosive. Social media erupted with outrage, hashtags demanding her removal trended, and countless posts called out the hypocrisy in her comments. Fans, particularly Caitlin Clark supporters, flooded platforms with documented examples of player misconduct, organizational negligence, and other incidents that White conspicuously ignored. The narrative shifted rapidly. It was no longer just about toxicity, but about accountability and fairness in the league. Platforms like Twitter and Instagram became battlegrounds where evidence of internal inconsistencies and double standards was shared relentlessly. Clips of players disrespecting fans, engaging in heated social media spats, and undermining teammates circulated alongside screenshots of contradictory injury reports and team statements. Fans, energized by Clark's impact and fed up with perceived selective outrage, positioned themselves as guardians of transparency, holding the league and its leadership to account in real time. The controversy also triggered broader public debate, drawing attention from mainstream sports media. Analysts and journalists weighed in, dissecting White's statements and comparing them to her past behavior and public record. Many noted that the coach's comments failed to acknowledge the central fact. Caitlin Clark was the driving force behind the league's renewed popularity. Without Clark, the WNBA's current growth trajectory, financial leverage, and emerging fan engagement would look entirely different. White's misstep, critics argued, exposed a dangerous disconnect between leadership and the community it serves. Calls for accountability went beyond mere criticism. Fans demanded structural changes, transparency in player and team communications, and accountability for leadership decisions. The conversation expanded from individual actions to systemic issues, emphasizing the importance of respecting the fan base while maintaining professional integrity within teams. As the WNBA faced this critical moment, it became clear that ignoring the voices of passionate supporters was not an option. Public pressure mounted, signaling that leadership failures could no longer be brushed aside without consequence. To truly understand the magnitude of this controversy, one must step back and examine the WNBA's historical context. The league has long faced challenges balancing fan engagement, player demands, and organizational accountability. While growth has been steady, it wasn't until Caitlin Clark's arrival that the league experienced an explosive surge in viewership, social media engagement, and merchandise sales. Clark didn't just draw fans. She redefined the league's cultural presence, attracting a broader audience and energizing communities that had long been on the sidelines. Fans, particularly Clark supporters, have become an essential engine behind the WNBA's current momentum. Their unwavering loyalty, consistent attendance, and passionate online presence have amplified the league's visibility, driving both revenue and influence. This fan base doesn't just watch games, they actively participate in shaping narratives, calling out injustices, and highlighting discrepancies within the league. Their engagement is a tangible asset, yet it has repeatedly been undermined by selective criticism and leadership missteps. Stephanie White's remarks serve as a prime example of this disconnect, targeting the very individuals who contribute to the league's unprecedented success. Moreover, this controversy illuminates deeper systemic issues. Long-standing grievances, including inconsistent disciplinary actions, opaque injury reporting, and favoritism in public narratives, have eroded trust between fans, players, and leadership. When leaders like White focus exclusively on perceived fan toxicity while ignoring these internal problems, it signals a misalignment of priorities. The league's growth and future depend on recognizing and addressing these systemic challenges rather than deflecting blame. History has shown that ignoring core supporters can have lasting consequences. Fans who feel dismissed or marginalized often disengage, impacting attendance, viewership, and overall league reputation. The WNBA is at a crossroads. It can either heed the lessons from this controversy and rebuild trust with its audience, or risk alienating the very base that has fueled its transformative moment. The stakes are high, and leadership choices now will define not just the league's present, but its future trajectory. Stephanie White's comments have triggered a storm not just among fans, but across the entire WNBA ecosystem. When a coach publicly alienates a star player's fan base, the very group driving the league's growth, it sends ripples far beyond social media outrage. Internally, players and management are forced to confront a critical question. How can leadership remain credible and respected when fans perceive favoritism, selective accountability, or even deliberate misdirection? The fallout for White could be significant. Fan petitions calling for her removal are circulating at unprecedented levels, and social media metrics reveal a stark decline in positive engagement surrounding her name. Sponsors, ever sensitive to public perception, may also rethink partnerships if the controversy is perceived as mishandled or divisive. Beyond the personal implications for White, the league itself is at risk. Leadership decisions set the tone for organizational culture, and a misstep at this level can ripple throughout teams, affecting morale, recruitment, and long-term growth. Moreover, the controversy shines a spotlight on the broader responsibilities of coaching figures. Coaches are not just strategists. They are public faces of their organizations, custodians of player well-being, and representatives of the fan community. A failure to balance these responsibilities with tact and fairness can destabilize entire teams. White's remarks illustrate how a single voice, when amplified in the wrong direction, can catalyze division rather than cohesion. The league now faces a critical test. Will it enforce accountability, ensuring that leaders uphold standards consistent with the league's values, or will it allow internal dissonance to persist, risking fan trust and organizational integrity? Ultimately, the consequences extend far beyond one individual. White's comments have illuminated structural weaknesses in communication, fan engagement, and leadership transparency. Addressing these gaps is essential not only for resolving the current controversy, but also for safeguarding the WNBA's hard-earned momentum. Leadership accountability is no longer optional. It is essential for the survival and growth of professional women's basketball. Fans have not remained passive observers in this saga. Instead, they have mobilized into a formidable force demanding recognition and fairness. Social media platforms have become battlegrounds where supporters collectively highlight inconsistencies, historical grievances, and instances of neglect or double standards. The widespread fan outrage demonstrates that modern sports communities are more than passive consumers. They are active stakeholders with the power to influence organizational decisions. Clark's fan base, in particular, exemplifies this empowerment. Through coordinated online campaigns, commentary threads, and petition initiatives, they have drawn attention to systemic issues that might otherwise be ignored. Their advocacy is informed, citing specific incidents of player disrespect, misleading injury reports, and leadership failures. This digital activism has a tangible impact, shaping public discourse, attracting media coverage, and pressuring the league to respond more transparently. The intensity of fan engagement also underscores a larger cultural shift in professional sports. Audiences are no longer satisfied with passive entertainment. They demand authenticity, fairness, and accountability from both players and leadership. By labeling fans as toxic without addressing underlying league issues, White not only misdirected criticism, but also underestimated the influence of an empowered community. This mobilization has broader implications for the WNBA. Fans have made it clear that their loyalty is conditional, earned and maintained through transparency, respect, and tangible actions. Leadership decisions that ignore or alienate this base risk long-term disengagement. Conversely, embracing this active, vocal community offers an unprecedented opportunity to strengthen the league's cultural relevance and financial stability. Fans have become co-creators of the league's narrative, ensuring that accountability is enforced from both the top down and the bottom up. In essence, the controversy illustrates a profound truth. In the modern sports landscape, fan engagement is a powerful, measurable asset. Those who fail to respect it do so at their peril. For the WNBA, this moment is a test of how effectively it can harness the energy, passion, and influence of its audience to foster both growth and fairness. The financial ramifications of this controversy are significant. Caitlin Clark's arrival has been directly linked to surges in ticket sales, viewership ratings, and merchandising revenue. Without her impact, the league would not have achieved the leverage necessary to negotiate the current collective bargaining agreement, which includes substantial salary increases for players. By criticizing fans who helped create these conditions, White's remarks highlight a disconnection between leadership perception and financial reality. The WNBA is operating in a competitive entertainment landscape where every fan interaction and engagement metric has tangible value. Alienating a dedicated audience risks undermining ticket revenue, broadcast ratings, and social media influence, all critical drivers of sponsorships and long-term investment. Sponsors, attuned to both public sentiment and brand alignment, are likely to take note of any leadership controversy that threatens the league's image or alienates a key demographic. Strategically, this incident also underscores the importance of aligning organizational messaging with fan expectations. Fans want to see fairness, transparency, and acknowledgement of the players who contribute to league growth. When leadership missteps occur, they create opportunities for public relations crises, which can amplify dissent and deepen mistrust. Conversely, proactive engagement, addressing fan concerns, acknowledging Clark's role, and enforcing accountability among players, could reinforce loyalty and fortify the league's public standing. In short, the controversy is not just a reputational issue. It is a strategic and financial one. Leadership decisions directly influence revenue streams, brand perception, and long-term sustainability. The WNBA now faces a critical choice: prioritize transparency and accountability or risk undermining the very engine of its success. This controversy ultimately offers the WNBA an opportunity for meaningful change. It serves as a stark reminder that the league's growth and popularity are inseparable from fan loyalty, player performance, and leadership accountability. Ignoring any one of these elements risks destabilizing the entire ecosystem. A constructive resolution would begin with leadership acknowledging missteps and engaging directly with the fan base. This includes recognizing Caitlin Clark's transformative impact, addressing legitimate concerns regarding player and organizational behavior, and committing to transparent communication going forward. The league must demonstrate that criticism of fans will never overshadow the acknowledgement of internal shortcomings or the contributions of star players. For fans, this is a moment to assert influence responsibly. By maintaining pressure while remaining fact-based and organized, supporters reinforce the idea that their engagement is not only valued, but essential for the league's integrity. Social media campaigns, petitions, and informed discussions provide a blueprint for sustained fan influence in shaping professional sports environments. For players, the lesson is clear. Respect for fans, consistency in conduct, and acknowledgement of the broader ecosystem are non-negotiable. Fans are not merely spectators. They are stakeholders whose investment in time, money, and emotional energy enables salaries, sponsorships, and league growth. The WNBA has reached a pivotal point. How it navigates the fallout from Stephanie White's comments will define its culture and trajectory for years to come. By choosing transparency, fairness, and accountability, the league can emerge stronger, with fans and players united in pursuit of mutual respect and growth. This moment transcends individual controversy. It reflects the evolving dynamics of professional sports, where empowered fans, vigilant players, and accountable leadership co-create the future. The league's response will set a precedent for how organizations manage criticism, embrace growth, and ensure that passion, loyalty, and integrity remain at the heart of women's basketball.